Something indeed has happened in between the games in today's episode, and it's a rather big thing as well. We are being offered a job interview.
Sometimes you're a fire, sometimes you're a ghost, sometimes you can give me all the things that I love the most. Sometimes you're a queen, sometimes you're a curse, and sometimes a whole lot worse. Yeah, nobody's quite like you.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 36 of Blue Hell Worldwide here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well, and today we are going to be taking on Eintracht Frankfurt in the 7th round of the FA Cup, a game that we do need to win if we're going to fulfill the board's objectives for that competition. Off the back of that, we are going to be taking on Racing Club in the league. It was supposed to be Santos Laguna, but that game has been pushed back since we did finish yesterday's episode, which if you missed, I will leave a link to above my head. But if you are looking forward to today, then do remember to pop on down below, thumbs up on the video, and also if you're new around here, consider hitting that subscribe button and turning that notification bell on as well. But we start on the screen today of Matt Olasunde, our right back, who at the moment is the only player who will be heading to the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. As you can see, he's a player who has gone up value-wise considerably since we bought him to the club. If we go back and look at what we got him for at the start of last season, it was 185,000 euros. So he has blossomed into a very valuable asset here at Sporting Kansas City. But unfortunately, he is going to be missing for a little while off the back of today's episode, as he is off on international duty, the only player from our squad at the moment selected in a World Cup team. So we're not too badly off there because of that upcoming World Cup, but something to keep in mind. Matt Olasunde will be leaving. That means we have to be relying on the likes of Jonas Leishoj and Jalen Lindsay while Olasunde is away at that World Cup. But we've played one game since the end of yesterday's episode. We'll bring you guys the highlights of that against Lens in the Europa League. This was an away game for us, and unfortunately the home team did get off to the best start. A half hour gone, they had a goal kick. Balde with a ball up. Balagon just takes a touch to take it around the defender and then puts it into the bottom right corner, 1-0 at the half hour mark. But just before half time, Diego Coronado, who had an eventful game, got on the end of a corner and it was 1-1 at half time. And then just after that hour marker, Yongo with an attempted cross, it fell to Flanco, who slotted Pulido through, and we were 2-1 up. But unfortunately, about 10 minutes before this highlight here in extra time, Coronado picked up a second yellow card, and then it was one of our defenders there. I think it might have even been Eli Sanchez with a missed header, and unfortunately Ganago was able to get on the end of that, and they ended up rescuing a 2-2 draw out of that. A little bit frustrating, as up until the 84-minute mark, thought we had that game pretty well under control after conceding the first goal, but that red card to Coronado for his second yellow really did prove costly, allowed them to get a bit more momentum late in that game, and they made the most of it, albeit you look at the stats, it's probably a game that they'll feel a little bit harsh that they didn't win, but we put up a really good fight and come away with another point in the Europa League. What that means for the group going into the last couple of games is that we pretty much out of it now. There's a very slight chance we can get out of this group, 8 points behind Sassuolo, but if they pick up any points in their next game with our terrible goal difference, we're pretty much out of it. We need to win all our games and hope that results go in our favour. It is pretty much dead and gone, the Europa League, for us this season. But today we are starting off our FA Cup journey against Eintracht Frankfurt. As I said at the end of yesterday's episode, we did take these guys on right at the start of this season in Champions League qualifiers. Our first team in the home leg picked up a 2-0 win, but then we put out a more rotated team in the away leg away from home and got absolutely battered 7-0. So we're putting out the first 11 for this game. So hopefully we'll get a result more similar to what we did in the first leg rather than the second leg of that Champions League qualifier. But if you look at our recent form, it's been a little while since we lost a game, but there's a lot of orange dots going on there. So hopefully we can draw the line on all those draws in today's episode. Eintracht Frankfurt, we'll have a quick look at them, see if they've improved since the very start of the season. Obviously, we didn't really have much of an idea about them at the start of the season, but they're currently in 9th in the Bundesliga, predicted to finish 8th. If we have a look exactly where they are fairly mid-table on 15 points. Very similar gaps between the top of the table and the relegation zone. So very much a mid-table team, kind of like we are here at Sporting Kansas City at the moment. But we'll come back shortly. It is a home game for us, as I said. So we'll come back from Children's Mercy Park and see if we can advance to the 8th round in the FA Cup. And here are the team sheets for this FA Cup game against Eintracht Frankfurt. They are on the right, still got a pretty strong team, looking quite similar to what they had at the start of the season with Sidibe and Libby Kakache, their fullbacks. That's a dangerous area. We're going to have to keep an eye on those guys, but on the whole, a pretty good looking squad there, a little bit stronger than ours with the likes of Forsberg on the bench for us. First 11, exactly how we want it. The only change that we have made, Ozzy Cisneros on the bench for Daniel Shelly, who is unavailable as he is travelling for an upcoming international window before the World Cup with Hungary. Obviously, Hungary have not made it to this World Cup in 2022, but our first choice 11, and hopefully we can get a good result here against Eintracht Frankfurt. 18 minutes gone, Eintracht Frankfurt were on the attack there, but we do intercept the ball there through Sunday, I believe, and Rashid Gazelle looks to drive forward in the first highlight of the game. Only one shot in the game so far was to Eintracht Frankfurt, but not too dangerous. Really good chance there, though, for Metcha, but I think Polito was ruled offside there, so it wouldn't have counted anyway, but pretty sure it came off the post, and it does remain 0-0 at the 20-minute mark, and we have a throw-in, but unfortunately give possession back to Eintracht Frankfurt shortly off the back of that, and the fellow Kiwi, Libby Kakache, on the ball here for Frankfurt, a very promising player in Football Manager, hoping we can get our hands on him at some stage in next year's game, maybe early on when we go to Tottenham. We'll see about that, but yeah, would like to get him involved in one of our clubs next year after we failed to this year, but we do get the ball back after Eintracht Frankfurt look to build something from the back there. Metcha back to Ayongo. Nice ball over for Polito. One-on-one with the keeper. Tries to beat him at the near post, but good save from Sommer. Might have been offside, in fact, and it remains 0-0 after 22 minutes. 36 minutes gone here, and we do have a goal kick in the third highlight of the game. Vandenberg up to Olasunde as we look to play out from the back. Some good short passing here as we keep possession. Look to drive forward here through Gianluca Busio out to Felix Metcha at a good chance earlier, albeit would have been ruled out for offside. Nice ball there for Gazelle, but his shot saved well from Sommer at the near post. Some good chances here in the first half for us. Still, it remains 0-0 though. And that is half time. That's a pretty good half from us, truth be told. Not much happening in the game, as you can tell by the stats, but we have had the better of things. So pretty happy with how this is going against the team of the quality of Eintracht Frankfurt. We'll make one change at half time. Gazelle on a yellow heart. I think we'll bring Johnny F. Russell on for him, see if he can do what he did in yesterday's episode, but hopefully we can keep playing the way that we've been playing despite it being 0-0 at halftime. 52 minutes gone here. First highlight of the second half is for Eintracht Frankfurt. A corner and it comes off the post. A good header going for the top right corner. Bjortuf clears that away very nicely into the opposition half, and it does remain 0-0. I think we're going to make some changes here though, because a few players on yellow cards are not performing as well as they are capable of. Talking about Olasunde and Polito. So I think we're going to take those players off. It will be Jonas Lajos coming on for Olasunde. Can get a bit more familiar with the first team with that upcoming World Cup not too far away. And Alan Polito, only on a 6.5 rating, has picked up a yellow card as well. So Anthony Reyes to come on for him. That'll be our free changes after 55 minutes where the scoreline remains 0-0. 66 minutes gone. It's a free kick here for Eintracht Frankfurt. And Dicker in a fair bit of space there towards the sort of middle of the box, but that hits the post and we get away with one there. They've been quite dangerous from headers here so far in the second half, have Eintracht Frankfurt, but clinging on to this 0-0 scoreline, which I suppose is fair enough. We blew some good chances in the first half. Wonderful ball there for Reyes, but one of the defenders gets in the way of the shot and he can't quite find Johnny Russell from the resulting save. A really good chance there for us, but still 0-0. 85 minutes gone and Eintracht Frankfurt with a throw in the final third, so a dangerous opportunity potentially for them here. Sidibe with a ball in. Vandenberg clears that away, and Reyes, with a slide tackle, but it falls back to an Eintracht Frankfurt player, which is a little bit unfortunate, and hopefully we can keep them out here and see if we can create anything before this match would go to extra time. Picard is making his way down the right, back to Kamada. They're playing the ball fairly safely. It looked like there's a poor pass. Johnny F. Russell is able to get in the way of that, plays it up to Reyes, and another really good save there from Jan Sommer. So he is keeping them well and truly in this game today here for Eintracht Frankfurt. Still 0-0. We'll see if anything comes from this corner. Vandenberg gets his head to it, but it's not too threatening over the bar, and it looks like this game might be going to extra time. Still 0-0 as we enter the last few minutes, and indeed we will be going to extra time, so we might be able to make another substitution here. It's a game that we have played pretty well and we've been the more dominant team, so not too disappointed with how this is going at the moment. Just be nice if we took one of those couple of chances that we did create, a few good ones as well, but we did spurn them. So we'll give the boys a bit of a rev up, tell them that we have been the better team, because I think we have been in terms of the substitution that we can make. Ryan Wintle, Red Heart, 6.4 rating. Remy Walter can come on for him, but we'll see if anything happens in extra time or if this game does go to penalties, 0-0 after 90 minutes. And in the second half of extra time here, there has been no highlights and we are going to penalties, so it's going to be down to a penalty shootout. Luckily, we do have the home advantage, so we'll sort this out in terms of the penalty taking and composure. So I'll have a quick play around with this, and then we'll come back for the penalty shootout. And there is our penalty shootout order. We've got Russell, Busio, Reyes, Walter, and Jala. And behind that, Vandenberg, Leishoj, Bjortuft, Unsane, who's better than both Metcha and Iyongo apparently. So pretty high placement there for our goalkeeper. We'll see what we need to do here team talk wise. I think we'll tell them to relax and pick their spot, even though you're kind of being assertive with the point finger there. We'll give the boys a bit more of a juice up, telling them that there is no pressure on them, and we will see what happens in this upcoming penalty shootout. Based on what happened over the 90 minutes plus extra time, I think we probably deserve to win this game, but we'll see if that's resulted in the penalty shootout. First off, Mourinho for Eintracht Frankfurt hits the post. That's exactly the start we're after. Hopefully we can make the most of it here through our best penalty taker on the pitch, and Johnny Effin Russell, the super Scot, not so super that time. A really good save there from Jan Sommer, who is having a heck of a game for Eintracht Frankfurt. It's still 0-0. Emil Forsberg now up for Frankfurt, and he buries that in the bottom left corner. And at the moment, advantage Eintracht Frankfurt, but we do still have our second penalty, which could even things up, and it's young Gianluca Busio to take it and buries that in the top left corner. A really good penalty, and it's 1-1 after 2 penalties apiece. And now the right back in Sidibe for Eintracht Frankfurt. What can he do? Just gets that past Unsane for us, going for the bottom left corner. Didn't quite get the placement he wanted there, but did enough, and it is 2-1. We'll see if Anthony Reyes can put this away. He just gets that past the keeper. Good placement in the bottom left corner, and it's 2-2 after 3 penalties apiece. So I think next save is going to be very important. Kamada straight at Unsane. That might be the advantage that we need. We are 2-2, but with a penalty in hand here, and Remy Walter, fairly fresh off the bench, will look to drive the advantage home, and he gets that past the goalkeeper. Good penalty into the bottom right corner, and all we need now is a save or another one to hit the back of the net, and we will be going through. It's going to be Tuta for Eintracht Frankfurt, making the long and slow jog up as Unsane gets ready in between the sticks. As you can see, our ground's still under renovation. It's going to be finished in late December. Here's the penalty, gets that past Unsane. So now it is all down to, I believe, Jala, our last penalty taker. We'll just wait and see here. It is indeed Sasha Jala, who has been one of our better performers here at the club so far this season, along with Unsane in goal. We'll see if he can put us through here to the 8th round of the FA Cup. He just gets it past the goalkeeper into the bottom left corner, and we beat Eintracht Frankfurt 4-3 on penalties. You look at the stats and the overall player ratings. Yeah, I think we probably deserved that when Unsane had a good game in goal. I imagine Jan Sommer also had a pretty good game in goal for them. He kept out some really good chances for us in regular time, but stat-wise, it was a game that we probably should have dealt with them in during the regular 90 minutes, but it took penalties, but got the job done against Eintracht Frankfurt, and we'll be making our way through to the 8th round of the FA Cup. We'll come back shortly for the Racing Club game, unless anything happens in between now and then. So we are back in the inbox a day before the Racing Club game, and something indeed has happened in between the games in today's episode, and it's a rather big thing as well. We are being offered a job interview by Real Madrid. Not usually a coaching move that you would see in terms of going from Sporting Kansas City to Real Madrid. I'm not too sure if we're actually going to accept the job, even if they offered it to us, just with how long we've got left between when the save's going to end and when FM22 stuff starts. And also this is supposed to be a solely Sporting Kansas City save, but we're probably not going to be able to take Sporting Kansas City to the Premier League. And if there's a little bit of time in between the end of this season at Sporting Kansas City and the start of the FM22 beta, we could potentially come back to this and try a little half season in the World Super League with Real Madrid. So I think I'm going to actually attend this interview and we'll see what happens as we get into it. We'll just answer these questions, but yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. This, to be fair, I wasn't expecting a Real Madrid job interview during a Sporting Kansas City save. I think that would be one of the more unusual promotions in world football history, going from an MLS club to Real Madrid. But we'll just get through this. I don't think we'll promise these guys anything, but we'll just sort of say hopefully that our body of work has done the job. A bigger challenge, no doubt, but we'll sort of say we're more focused on ourselves because, as I said, not overly fussed about taking this Real Madrid job, but I will try and give us a chance to at least get there. What I might do is leave a link to where I've saved this right before this interview down in the description. And if you guys want to pick up here and potentially do a better job of this job interview than I did, you will have the chance. But yeah, just something a little bit interesting here. We might have to see what happens leading into tomorrow's episode, whether we should be looking at taking over Real Madrid for a little bit. But I think either way, we will actually finish the season at Sporting Kansas City, and we might do a little sneaky, somewhat save and reload, and might come back for a little brief Real Madrid job for a half season if we have the time after this season finishes here at Sporting Kansas City. But making our way through this job interview, I think it's going fairly well. Proposed transfer budget 32.82 million euros. I think that's not too much more than we had here at Sporting Kansas City this season. A very big wage budget, though. I think they're pretty good off facility-wise. And yeah, interesting stuff there. But we'll come back shortly for the Racing Club game. But Real Madrid after us, which is interesting. And back for this league game against Racing Club. Just the one change. Ayongo is also away on international travel prior to an upcoming international window, along with Shaloi. So Luis Martins comes into the left-back role for him, and Yasser Larouci keeps his bench spot. So just that outright change. Martins coming in for Ayongo, but otherwise exactly the same team that saw us through, albeit on penalties against Eintracht Frankfurt. And hopefully we can get a decent result here against Racing Club, their team on the left, a team in a very similar position to us, just one spot below us in the league. So hopefully we can pick up a good result against these guys and just secure ourselves in that top half of the league table. 1 minute gone. It's an early highlight here, a goal kick to Racing Club, them being the home team in the light blue and white stripes. This time we are in our dark blue outfits, and Fatoli makes his way forward dangerously. Good tackle in there from Wintle, but unfortunately the ball falls to another Racing Club player. They look to get going forward there, but a ball played forward, but it's blocked and it falls to Pulido. Eventually he starts to make his way forward. Good ball there for Mecha. Doesn't get a shot off there at the near post, which might be a good idea. Busio, his shot blocked. Little bit of a chance there for us, but still it remains nil as Kuko now makes his way down the other end. A good little foot in there, though, from Olasunde. He's probably going to get a yellow card for that, does. And after a couple of minutes, still nil. 12 minutes gone. We've got a free kick. Busio trying to put that in towards the far post, but this time no one there for us. And Kuko makes his way forward down the right-hand side this time. He's already looking quite dangerous on the ball going forward. Good slide tackle there from Wintle. Oh, referee. That is a terrible call. Hopefully VAR saves us here. That was clean as a whistle, that tackle, but VAR has sided with the referee. What's the point of you referees? That's BS, that is. Utterly terrible decision. Kuko with the chance to put them in front here. He's been dangerous today. Slots the penalty away, and that's very much a hometown refereeing call there. And it is apparently Juan Hernandez. I suppose that's his nickname, Kuko. Either way, he puts the ball in the back of the net. Not too happy about that. Thought that was a fairly clean tackle there from Ryan Wintle. And after 13 minutes, we go 1-0 down. 44 minutes gone here. A late goal kick here to Racing Club to end the first half. And they look to play forward again here from the back. Fatoli just keeps possession there after a bit of a loose touch. And they do pass this back and look to keep going forward. If they get another goal here, it would feel pretty harsh. Already not too sure about that penalty that was given away. But apart from that, we have looked pretty good in this first half stat-wise anyway. And the highlights that we have seen have looked in our favour from open play. But Caceres on the ball, and they look to keep this pressure on us here. Do Racing Club in this highlight. Fatoli now down the left-hand side just gets past Olasunde a little bit easily there, but he is having to ease off tackles. A slide tackle, luckily, That one came off. It's played in to Kuko. The ball finds the back of the net, but he must be somewhat offside here because the referee has not given the goal immediately. Let's hope that VAR is going to make a proper decision this time, and indeed he does. Offside. We'll just make sure that he was offside because this could be a little bit of payback for that penalty call. Dominguez played this up and he's only just offside, so I guess that's a good decision this time from VAR, and we will be heading into the sheds 1-0 down. Apart from the penalty that Racing Club got there, you can see they weren't overly threatening. We've looked pretty good throughout this game. Stats more or less in our favour, excluding XG, so not too disappointed with the performance, more so the refereeing. At the moment, I think it's fair to say we'll make one change at halftime. Ryan Wintle still struggling in that advanced playmaker role on a 6.4 rating and yellow heart, so Remy Walter can come on for him yet again, and hopefully we can get an equalising goal at the least in the second half as we're 1-0 down. 48 minutes gone here, an early free kick for Racing Club as they look to play out from the back yet again, and Gale makes his way into our half, although it's a poor pass. Louis Martins with the interception. Hopefully we can get things back to all square, as I feel that's what we deserve at the moment. As I said, pretty unlucky penalty, although we give the ball straight back there to Racing Club, and Pablo up to, not too sure who that was, but Alcaraz Fatoli, as we try and figure out who that was that gave the ball away there. It was Gazelle, who's, hasn't started his career off at SKC too well, which is a little bit concerning considering he's supposed to be a pretty darn good player. Sanchez puts this ball in for Kuko. That hits the post. We get away with one there. He has been very dangerous today. Here's Kuko, and Louis Martins clears that away, and it is still 1-0, but we might make some changes here just to try and stem the momentum. It does look like since that penalty, Racing Club are having the upper hand in this game. Olasunde can come off for Lyshaw's yellow card and 6.4 rating, and also Johnny F. and Russell for Gazelle on a 6.5 rating and yellow heart. Those will be our free subs used, but hopefully that can stem the momentum in this game a little bit, and we can try and get, as I said at halftime, at least an equalising goal here as we are still 1-0 down. 56 minutes gone here, a free kick to Racing Club. It's Caceres with a header and it just comes off the bar. We're getting a little bit lucky in today's episode from aerial shots from the opposition. Still 1-0 at the hour mark though. 67 minutes gone and we are in the final third. A block shot there, but Louis Martins picks the ball back for us, tries to put a cross through, falls to Busio. Now he's in a lot of space here. Down the left, ball in there, the shot's blocked now. Metcha back to Walter. His shot blocked, Walter again, Polito. It's an absolute mess and somehow we don't come away with a goal there. Had a couple of good chances. The goalkeeper was prone, lying on the ground after committing to one of those prior shots, but just can't get anything happening today, unfortunately. Creating some good chances, but nothing in the back of the net yet. And we're 1-0 down with 20 minutes to go. And now we have a free kick here at the 72-minute mark, taking it short and looking to play out from the back, very similar to what Racing Club have done in this game so far. Good touch there from Metcha to get past his defender, just on the edge of the box. It'll be interesting to see what happens here, as VR is going to have a look. It looked very similar to the Wintle challenge, so if we're playing fair here, not too sure if this should be a penalty. It is not. We'll see if it's going to be given as a free kick, and it doesn't look like it is, so nothing at all for that challenge. VAR just not on our side today, and with 15 minutes to go, we are still 1 goal down. 86 minutes gone here, a free kick to Racing Club as they look to put the nail in the coffin of us here. As I said, I'd still feel like this would be a harsh result, as I think we've definitely been good enough to get something out of this game, but now we are in possession, and Johnny F. and Russell keeps the ball just inside our half, looks to go out onto the left. Slide tackle falling kindly there to Louis Martins, his cross block, but Felix Metcha on the ball, plays that in for Polito, back to Busio and finds the back of the net. I think that's a bit of a mistake there from the Racing Club goalkeeper. Polito, I thought, absolutely stuffed that up. I thought he had a little bit of an open net there at the near post, but eventually we finally get the ball into the back of the net and get this scoreline back to a draw at 1-1. I thought Polito should have just had a crack there, but yeah, that's pretty average from the Racing Club goalkeeper, even though we probably should have been scoring from that anyway. And with only a few minutes to go, it is back at 1-1, but unfortunately nothing happening after that late equaliser, and it's a 1-1 draw. You look at the stats, if you take out the dodgy penalty, that's probably a game that we should have been winning even away from home. It's not a terrible result, given that it was away from home, but I feel like we played well enough there to earn a few more points out of that game, and it keeps up a rather frustrating patch of draws for us over the last couple of months, where we have had quite a busy schedule, so quite a few drop points in those games. But luckily for us, we do get something out of that game. A bit of a scrappy one, but a 1-1 draw against Racing Club. And the league table after that game against Racing Club, still in the top half of the table, but only just, as I said before the game. If we got a win there, we could have just cemented ourselves in this top half of the table a little bit more than we have. But at the moment, we are very much right bang in the middle of this Brasileiro Serie A, along with Racing Club, tied on points. But we have played one less game than them in a slightly better goal differential as well. 9 points off LAFC, who we now have no games in hand on. So that's a pretty decent gap to the top of the table. A little bit closer to the relegation zone, but that's still a 5-point gap. We should be able to keep ourselves out of that battle, hopefully, for the rest of the season. But at the moment, just kind of holding ground. If we go back and look at our schedule and go back to where we currently are, you can kind of see why, because since we played Sevilla in the Europa League at the start of October, a lot of draws, only 3 wins, and one of those did come in the first game of today's episode on penalties after a draw. So a lot of draws recently. Hopefully we can fix that going into the next episode. I might have to have a play around with something tactic-wise, just change something ever so slightly and see if that works and makes us a bit more threatening going forward, because defensively we're still looking pretty good. It's just attacking-wise, I think we're not quite delivering as well as we could be at Sporting Kansas City at the moment. But that will do for today's episode. 2 draws, but luckily we got a win out of one of them thanks to penalties in the FA Cup against Eintracht Frankfurt. Now tomorrow, I think I'm going to play for a fair chunk of stuff off camera, as I do want to get into a position where over the weekend I can get through this upcoming transfer window. So I think what we might do is come back tomorrow and play the Super League Cup round of 64 game against Sevilla. It's Sevilla again, but it's a competition which, if we can get past those guys, we might have a decent chance. And off the back of that, we will come back and take on Palmeiras in the Serie A, the team who finished above us last season when coming second in the league. Just having a quick look at where they are. They are up in third, a little bit behind LAFC, but definitely still in a pretty good position going into the second quarter of the season. But if you did enjoy today's episode where we hit those draws and also that interesting Real Madrid job interview pop up, then do remember to go on down below, leave a thumbs up on the video. And if you haven't done so already and enjoyed the content here on the channel, especially getting into Football Manager 2022, then also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. And until tomorrow, as I said, where we're going to be taking on Sevilla in the Super League Cup and Palmeiras in the Serie A right before the start of the January transfer window, our last one of Blue Hell Worldwide. And then thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
Sometimes you